Well, hey Mocha, look who's joining us today.
Hey Mara, hi Mocha.
Everybody, this is Felicia, and she is from Ushers that our little own Casey has directed and famous for. Felicia's joining us today on Mara's Kitchen because we're going to bake her famous brownie recipe. Are you ready?
I'm ready. Let's go.
So come to Mara's Kitchen, see what's going on. Come to Mara's Kitchen, waking up a storm. Come to Mara's Kitchen, we got it going on.
Hey, welcome to Mara's Kitchen. Today we have a special guest, Felicia. She is going to give us her brownie recipe. So today she's going to do the baking and I am passing the fork.
Ooh, thank you, Mara.
Let's make brownies.
Yes. Okay, so these are Felicia's awesome, amazing brownies, and they are awesome and amazing. Okay, so first we're going to start off with our butter. It's a full cup of butter, melted, and it's right over here. All right, so we're adding this right into the bowl. Then we're going to add in our sugar, and we have 2 1/3 cup sugar all ready to go. Now originally this recipe called for over 3 cups of sugar, and I thought that was way too much, so we just brought it right down to 2 1/3 cup. We're just going to mix it all into the butter.
All right, so we're folding in the butter.
Yep, just mixing it all in.
Now, do you whip it, Felicia, or do you just stir it?
No, I just stir it because we're going to mix enough when the eggs come in.
Okay.
Because we're going to put in 4 eggs eventually, and we have to put them in individually, and we don't want to over whip the batter.
No. No, there are certain recipes that you don't over whip, as we've talked about before, because like muffins or cakes, you can, there's more liberty there. You can whip, so it's nice and fluffy, but brownies are a little bit more dense, so you don't want to, unless you want a fluffy brownie. What's next, hon?
Okay, so next we need to add in the vanilla, and we need, let's see here, a tablespoon of vanilla. And we have Mara's special vanilla. I'm excited. This is the first time I'm using this. Alrighty, so a full tablespoon. Sometimes I go a little overboard because I like vanilla.
Good girl. Okay, so we're adding the eggs, right?
Yes,
So
4 eggs.
do you crack and then beat into the batter individually, or do you crack and beat?
No, I crack one at a time, one into the batter, and then mix thoroughly, and then add in the next. Alright, so. Always careful not to get any shell in there. I double check everything before I start mixing.
And a little shell never hurt anybody.
Nah, but still, you don't really want crunchy brownies. Unless you put nuts in, and then that's a different story.
Then they'll never tell.
Then they'll never tell. Alright. Alright, so I just put the last egg in, and we're just finishing getting it all mixed in together. And then we're going to start in on the flour. Alright, so we're calling for 1.5 cups of flour. And we're going to just sift it in just a sec. I just got to finish getting this all in together. Alright, so that's all mixed in. And we're going to start in
With
with
flour.
the flour.
Okay. And here's your salt.
Okay,
And your...
thank you very much. 1/2 teaspoon of salt.
Okay.
Alright, so I'm going to put that in to the sifter. Thank you.
Sure.
Alrighty. A lot of times I only put in half and then I'll mix it in a little bit and then I'll put in the rest just so I don't overwhelm myself with floury mess.
There you go. Yeah, sometimes I do that. Sometimes I just do the whole thing, depending on what kind of mood I'm in mostly.
Yeah.
But if you want to be dramatic, Felicia, you know, you put the whole thing in and it flies everywhere, and then
Oh,
you're like,
yeah.
oh, I've just been baking my heart out. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
There you go.
Now I'm also sifting in the cocoa powder. Don't know if you heard that part.
You'll have to. The cocoa's a little bit thicker. There you go. What's all this? This is part of the reason why you may want to sift it, because it avoids getting the little clumpy ones,
Yeah.
which we can set aside and make the other
Yeah.
thing if you wish.
Yeah. Just wanted to get as much as we could,
Nice.
and then we'll get the rest of this because we like cocoa. All right. There you are. Thank you.
Yep.
All right. So then we mix this right in.
And we have your cinnamon as well.
All right. And that's the last thing we put in with the chocolate chips. All right.
Looking good, Felicia.
Thank you.
I know normally I pass the fork to you today, Felicia, but
Mhm.
what normally do you use to mix this all up? A spoon or spatula or?
I'll normally use a mixture of a wooden spoon and one of the rubber spatulas,
Okay.
just because that's normally what I have on hand.
Sure.
And I like feeling like a big chef.
Okay.
When I
Well,
think
because
of
I
it.
have those too. If you're
Nope.
more comfortable with that.
I'm on Mars Kitchen. I got the fork.
Ah, that's right.
Yes. All right. We got just a little bit more on the bottom that needs to be mixed in. I'm just going to start mixing the bowl here. All right. And then we're going to add in the cinnamon. So I'm going to start off with the cinnamon, and then
Okay.
we're going to add in the chips. So we'll wait on those for just a sec.
All right. How much cinnamon are you
Alright,
using?
so we've got a half teaspoon of cinnamon, and this kind of just gives it a little bit more of a, what I call a gourmet flavor.
There you go.
I like it, and everybody seems to enjoy it too. So we'll just get all that cinnamon in there.
Okay.
Thank you.
Nice.
Alright, I'm just going to give that a quick mix before we get the chocolate chips in there. It kind of also complements the flavor of the chocolate as well, that cinnamon, and that's why I like it.
Sometimes I throw in a little cayenne pepper, depending
Oh,
on
yeah.
what I'm making. Yeah. Divine.
Oh, I'm sure.
Not too much though, because you don't want to overpower it. So.
And then our recipe normally calls for a cup of chocolate chips, but we like chocolate chips, so I put in the whole bag. And we'll just go ahead and put it right in there. As with most things I do, I just put in most of it and get it mixing around, and then I'll put in the rest of it. That batter looks done. So now we can go ahead and add it into our baking dish.
Okay. What size are we using today?
All right, today we're using a 9x13 dish. We're going to make all the brownies we got stoneware. I'm really excited to use it. All right.
Okay. You can also use a knife to kind of go down the pan to see the measurement of it if you're that particular and you want everything to be exactly even, Steven. But the good thing about baking is it doesn't have to be perfect, it has to be yummy. Ready for the oven?
I think so.
Okay.
All right, so we're gonna put this brownie mix in for 35 to 40 minutes in a 350-degree oven. On the top one. All right. There we go.
Oh, Felicia, these look wonderful. So,
Thank you. All right, so this is how you make Felicia's super awesome, amazing brownies. And don't they look great?
yeah, let's taste
All
it.
right.
Oh my goodness. Wish you were here. Thanks for joining us on Mira's Kitchen today. Don't forget to like us on Facebook. Submit a recipe you may want to see and you could be on Mira's Kitchen. Happy baking!
but I don't have a sifter. So that is my.
You need a sifter.
I know.
Because it can get clumpy.
I know.
Dear Lord.
I know I need a sifter.
We need to get her a sifter.
I'm recording this.
She doesn't have a sifter. For the love of all this baking. She doesn't have a sifter. Okay.
I will get a sifter.
Well, present.
Okay, I won't get a sifter.
No.